This is my YouTube intro for this video. Today we're talking about swords. I know what you're asking yourself. You're like, why would you make a video about swords? I mean, you have a couple of them apparently, but this isn't going to be interesting. Shut up. I'm going to make an interesting video. I've got a couple different things, and we're going to kind of start off with the way I organize them just for funsies, because I think it's fun. And a lot of experimental video stuff, freeze frames, pictures, all that kind of going on. In the middle is the classicest, most perfect Lego sword. It's very similar to the one that I use for my guy, except mine's in that shiny black, gunmetal black. I have an extra one here. Here is the dark color, and there's also a pearl silver there. Interesting. But what about other classic swords? Well, we do have the cutlass, which is a fun one. I enjoy it. And the katanas. Now, katanas are kind of an interesting one because there's several different types. And if you don't know about katanas, Ninjago might be your first katanas. They actually came out with square hilts. You can kind of see that it's square there. And yeah, that's going to be thunder rumbling in the background. Fun. But they didn't start with square hilts. They started with the octagonal hilt, hilt guard actually, which is an interesting thing. That's like the original. But then on these square ones, the bottom is not capped. Then it became capped with the a little bit more recent additions. You can see that there's a teeny little, I don't know what you call that exactly, but I would say that's what it is. Ooh, is that focus not working? Yeah. It's just like the bottom of it is kind of round and weird, and it's not on the other ones. And that one's a square guard there that I just was holding up. The gold one obviously not, but I have it in several different colors, which makes it fun-er. The capped one I have in gold, that mint color, and that one in brown is from the Ninjago series minifigures actually, which is interesting. Now over here I have some built-up swords, which kind of stem out from some of the bigger swords in the top. The chrome sword, of course, is a really beautiful sword, still following that same classic one, but then we go into these kind of hero swords up here. They were using Knight's Kingdom, I think. And I kind of put those with the more decorated, large... I'd call those two-handed swords, honestly. A little bit big back around here is two-handed as well, but big for one hand, but doable, right? We have the scimitar, which is an interesting... what's that thing? I was just saying it. The guard is curved there, and it's actually clips, which is interesting for that. There's a open stud as well, so you can decorate it. These are kind of barbarian swords around here with the gold, the silver, the bronze, and then into kind of a wood, maybe? It's a tan color, but it's weird. There's also a built-up version of that, so that's why I have the built-up swords over here. Again, with two-handers is this built-up Nexonite sword. There's this thing that's not really a sword in the Jade Blade, which is not a sword. Going up this way to these guys, these ones are very pointy. They're very curved, and they probably should go farther down, closer to some of these other ones down here, but they're fun because they have clips, which makes me think of the scimitar. Speaking of scimitar, we can go back into kind of Middle Eastern and North African blades with the Kashep, maybe? I'm not positive. It's the one that they gave the Egyptian guys in the Collector series. There's also a Chima blade there, which is fun because it's built, technically, that fire bar thing. There's a built Ninja Ghost something Chi blade sword with a skull on it. That's fun. It could go over with the other skull swords, but I didn't. And then some other kind of skull, or not skull, Ninjago thing. I think that built up one here is actually a Ninjago, and that's a Ninjago. It's really crazy to look at this one here. It's built up from a lightsaber bar modified thing with the 90 degree at the bottom, this big blade piece on the bottom which acts as a handguard, and then this clear piece which is completely different from the clear piece which I have over here actually, but it's the same one that the the hidden stolen ninja guys were. So back kind of towards the middle, going down from the classic, we have the hand knives, which are also extended up here as well. But I have the size, which kind of close to the ninja blades, and then this decorative one, which was, I'm not positive, was that Lord of the Rings maybe? I don't think it was the Prince of Persia time blade. It might have been, but, and then another blade which I find very fun. A lot of people don't have this one, I think, but I enjoy it. He's my good friend, the Halo Spiner thing. I think they were in Mixels. Anyways, what else we got here? Going out from the classic, we've got the elaborate hilt, which is, it's about the same size. We can in fact pull up another sword next to it. Okay, it's the same size. It's got a little bit more pronounced of a ridge in the middle, which you can see by the shadowing going on here. Oops, focusing. And then going into elaborate and whatever else swords, and we bumped all kinds of things around. But the pointy ones, those are interesting too because the guards are different on a couple of those two silver ones in the middle have different guards. You can see that one's thicker and one's thinner. The thinner one in gold is a nice one as well, and then the black one is the thicker guard. Then over to these weird knives and other things. There's that machete that I just recently got. That one is a... Here it is. Spooky skull. And it's not going to focus. Okay. That's better. Spooky skull. That one's next to the cutlass because it's a cutlass itself. Then I have the foil, which I don't know where it would go. And this one is Snakebone sword, which, if you look at it, it's actually got like a skull for the handguard, and then the rib cage is flattened out, and it's got that purple stuff on it to make it a blade, I guess, which is fun. That's a Gladius type sword with a tiny little guard, but it's a one-hander and you swing it around all day willy-nilly. These are the Hiroka swords up there by the Hiroka dice. It's actually a die because it's by itself. What else haven't we covered? Oh, it's over by the built-up swords and the ninja swords because it's... Oh no! That one, my blade shot off, and it was going to be the one I was showing you next. Seriously? That's crazy. Hang on. It's okay. It was actually flung up here. It's Lloyd's blade. It's kind of a Chinese-style scimitar with the tassel on the bottom for distracting things. Whoa! But it's technically a built sword because it's two pieces. You could take that tassel piece off, though, and it's going to look just fine as a sword. It's got a little bit of a weird bottom to the hilt, but I don't mind it. So I'll set those aside and I'll reassemble it later. I said I will reassemble it later. Anyways, kind of fun. Just my collection there. I think that covers every sword. We'll just check one more time. I got the knives. I got the regular ones. I got the barbarian one. I mentioned the Nexonite two-piece lightsaber one. I do have lightsabers as well, but I don't really consider those swords laser swords and stuff. And that's kind of it. I enjoy collecting those. I have a lot to collect still. I know I have a white skull cutlass and a black scimitar in a similar style to this one in the yellow, but I don't know where I put those, so it's not my complete sword collection, but it's my complete sword collection because that's probably what I'm going to put in the title because it's catchy and whatnot. Anyways, I thank you for taking this much time to listen to me ramble about different swords and where I got them and why they're different than other things. And I didn't mention where I got most of them, actually, but, you know, I think that's a reasonable thing to have talked to you about for 9 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to make it a 10-minute and 15-ish second video. So if you want to go ahead and skip to the end, there's going to be end cards there. Subscribing and stuff is always appreciated. There's going to be an intro at the beginning, so I'm going to factor for time. It's right now it's like at 9.5 minutes of actual video and 10 seconds of an intro, and you know, I think that's good enough, right? 40. Yeah, we'll give it another couple seconds where I talk to you. Yeah, shout outs to all the people who comment and thumbs up stuff, so... Anyways, I just needed to finish this video so that I could pick this up because this is currently covering my studio, but... Later, guys!